What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoFi. I want to go over some expectations for this upcoming week, what might cause some volatility in the stock price, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, there's two things that you really need to watch for this week. One is coming out on Tuesday, November the 5th, and that is the elections. So elections are going to be huge for the broader market and especially the finance sector. So that is going to cause a hell of a lot of volatility. Aside from that, you also do have interest rate decisions. So 25 basis points is what the forecast is. I think that's already factored into the market, and that's been happening over the last week and a half. But what is said afterwards, that is going to cause an extreme amount of volatility because, in my opinion, at the same time, people have been pricing in another 25 basis point cut for the December 18th meeting. But Powell might just come out and say, hey, I've been monitoring the labor data as what I've stated in the past, and it's actually not that bad. So doesn't really warrant any possible cuts, or as what he says, we'll just be monitoring the data. So I think that might really hinder the December 18th results right here. And so as a byproduct, it might cause a lot of volatility in growth stocks such as SoFi and whatever else. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. I do believe SoFi just recently stated in their earnings though that they anticipate 75 basis points in 2024. So even if this 25 for the December 18th goes poof, shouldn't really affect SoFi because, like I said, they kind of guided to that 75. So let me know your thoughts on that. Nothing specific to SoFi though for this upcoming week. So no conferences planned, nothing like that. So it is just going to be, for the most part, piggybacking off the broader market, elections, interest rates, and its own technicals. So I'll go over technicals in a second, but fear and greed index is under the neutral category. So people's appetite for risk at the beginning part of the week won't necessarily be there. I think they're just waiting for the elections just to determine if we should be going in greed mode or if this is a time to panic. So once again, a lot of volatility, and you'll have shorts there waiting to pounce on any negativity in the broader market. Friday, though, shorts did return 1.03 million shares. 16.77% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 178.48 million shares. So let's say elections don't go according to plan. I'm not going to get political or anything, but let's say Anthony, he's already stated the better candidate for at least the finance sector. Let's say that individual doesn't get into power, then yeah, shorts might pounce over SoFi as a byproduct of that. So again, that is something that could be coming out. And as well, one other thing that could be coming out for SoFi is new analyst ratings. So majority of them have given ratings, but still the two amigos and a couple others. So you have Andrew, who was very bullish from a while ago, 7 months ago. It'd be nice for them to come out with a, let's say, a high teens possibly, because even back 7 months ago, they were very optimistic and bullish. So now with the recent data, there's no reason not to say the high teens, but still the two amigos, I think, are waiting just for their opportunity to pounce. And as I've stated in the past, I don't know what power David does have, but every time he gives a rating, it causes SoFi to go down for, again, whatever reason. I'm not really sure. 44% success rating isn't anything to be boastful about, but what do I know, right? While I'm actually on here, Elliott Wave Technicals is pointing for SoFi to continue to move higher. So it does have a pivot point of $10.10. And for as long as it is above that, which right now it is, then it is anticipated to get between that $12.40 and $13 range. So like I said, I think SoFi's technicals are still A-OK. And assuming elections and everything goes according to plan, then yeah, SoFi could really continue to move higher. Had some volatility based on the technicals, but still close above the ALMA. Super trend is still bullish. I have the 50, 100, 200-day moving averages. It's above all that. And luckily enough, because of all this volatility, you have stochastic somewhat reset itself. So it is arguably oversold, and so that's kind of crazy. So once again, that could really help SoFi really move higher for this upcoming week. So that's some stuff that could really affect SoFi, but where SoFi did land on Friday was above that $11 mark. So going over the open interest, that does mean that everything below that $11 strike price is in the money. So roughly around 7-8 million shares. There was some buying that did happen after hours on Friday on the secondary market as well as the dark pool, but not enough to cover the 8 million shares. So you have about, let's say, 2 million after hours right here, give or take. A couple big ones, big transactions, so 1.51 million, 9.8 on the dark pool. Somewhat quiet after hours, so you only had about 5-6 transactions right here, but still you should see a nice bump up on Monday as market makers do cover that. And that's been what happens time again. Sometimes it's short-lived, but luckily enough, SoFi is able to piggyback and it just breaks out on Monday. So that is also something to keep in mind. So as far as right now, though, just take note of some of these strong support and resistance points, because aside from the elections and the interest rates, SoFi is going to be following its technicals. So with it at 11.04, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So $10.83 will be a strong support. And then 11.28 is going to be the next strong resistance / target, followed by 11.55 and $12 if it does continue to go higher. And even the Elliott Wave Technicals is projecting for it to be, like I said, on a high end, at least in the short term, roughly around $13. But this week it's going to be a lot of volatility. And as I always say, if there is a lot of volatility on any stock, take advantage and do options, because it can be very profitable whether you're bullish, whether you're bearish, on every aspect. The only thing that I wanted to kind of explain, though, as SoFi does run up, if you anticipate a stock to move higher, just be cautious in selling calls, because you can essentially lose out, right? So if you do anticipate a very big burst in the stock price, might be better just to sit tight. Don't sell covered calls, just kind of wait. But one thing that I also do state is if you like a stock and you're going to buy a SoFi at this price regardless, or even just any stock, look at selling puts, because again, you can buy it at the price that you were going to anyways, and you get a additional premium. So it's kind of a win-win. So really recommend all of you to kind of research that and all the fun jazz. So let me know your thoughts. Throw your price predictions in the comments below. I do feel that SoFi is going to really move higher, possibly closing this week around this R2 range. So 11.55, that's probably where it will land. Possibly maybe even the high R3s right here, but honestly, it is all going to come down to those two data points. So it's kind of hard to predict based on what Powell is going to state and the elections. So what's your viewpoint? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing, if you do like my channel, want to support the growth, you can definitely join as a member. And as well, I do have a lot of other tiers that you can take a look at, one of which does give you buy signals on stocks and options. Highly recommend you popping over there and taking a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.